season never ends is the engine behind your favorite sports bar fantasy site. If your bar doesn't have it, send them our way so you can benefit from seamless draft day setups. No back and forth with staff. Just scan a QR code, pick your league spot, and customize your food and drink offers. TSNE offers quality of life tools like a mock drafter that improves each year by learning your league, automated team management if a player quits mid-season, and game time injury replacements before kickoff. With more league types and role options than any other platform, TSNE is everything you wish your fantasy platform had. You. The one still debating whether to start Patrick Mahomes this week or bench him for that rando backup QB no one's heard of. What are you doing? Stop scrolling and listen up. You know what you need in your life? More Black and Tan Sports. That's right, your one-stop podcast for fantasy football chaos, NFL hot takes, and the occasional life lesson you didn't know you needed. We're on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, basically anywhere you can get your podcasts. So hit that subscribe button like you're smashing a waiver wire pickup for CMC. And don't forget to drop us a 5-star review. Why? Because it's not just our egos, it helps the algorithm show us some love. And let's be honest, you could use more good karma for that trade offer you just sent out. You're also going to want to join the party on social media because we're dropping fire takes all week long. On X, formerly known as Twitter, we're not here to discuss Elon. We're at Black and Tan Pod. Facebook, Black and Tan Sports Pod. You know, for all you I still love my mom's memes people out there. Instagram, we got you at Black and Tan Sports Pod. Where else can you get weekly fantasy tips and questionable Photoshop edits of my co-host Dwayne's face? Oh, and YouTube, Black and Tan Sports. Subscribe there too, unless you're scared to see what fantasy football legends actually look like. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe, follow, engage. Otherwise, your fantasy team might just get cursed with a season-ending injury. Just saying. Black and Tan Sports, for the laughs, the takes, and the wins. Subscribe now, or you'll regret it later.
Draft day heat, turn the speakers up. All eyes locked on a commissioner's cup. 25 years, yeah, the legends don't stop. Fantasy dreams on the way to the top. Black and Tan Sports, we running it up. 2025, Commissioner's Cup. Yeah, the legends don't stop. Fantasy dreams on the way to the top. Black and Tan Sports, we running it up. 2025, Commissioner's Cup.
Yo, welcome to Black and Tan Sports. It's a little bit weird. If you're watching right now, you can tell that unfortunately we're missing the black part of the Black and Tan Sports. Things happen. We got to roll with the punches, right? I think what happened was that Dwayne hit the lottery, and so he's probably like getting a lawyer and all those types of things to make sure that that money is like, you know, spent the right way and things like that. He's really rich. He just, you know, he just may not have any more time for me anymore. I don't know what's going on. But listen. We had a really good weekend here with Philadelphia sports. The Eagles, big win, like we thought was going to happen. Dwayne was also the referee for one of the first new Wing Bowl events over at Big Carm's tailgate over at the Lincoln Financial this weekend as well. So that's new. We have Mr. Green's Herbie's Hail Marys picks as well. We'll go over that and see how he did there. And I'm sure he'll talk to you as much and let you know all that as well. But listen, we're rolling with the punches here. We're doing what we can do. We're going to bring you guys a show every week. So that's what we plan on doing. Also, if you guys are listening to this now, the day after is typically when it comes out. Dwayne will be going live on TikTok and doing his thing there as well when he has the time. Sometimes when schedules don't line up, they don't line up, but we don't care. We just keep doing our thing, right? So, I mean, this weekend for me, let's get right into it, right? So, Well, before we talk about the Eagles, let's talk a little bit about the Wing Bowl. So there was a Wing Bowl's coming back. This is something that we've been trying to be a part of for a long time now and kind of resurrect because we understand that how important and how iconic Wing Bowl is for Philadelphia. Yes, it ended when we won the Super Bowl. I get it, but there's been this little hole in my heart where it's like we need to fill it with wings. Pause, as my friend Dwayne would like to say. We want to bring it back. Al Wingendorf has been part of this. Cheerleaders in Philadelphia has also been part of this as well. There is a larger eating contest out there in Vegas going on, and with all of that, you know, it's kind of tough to whip it up over here on this end with some things going on lately. But Big Carm is stepping up. He has a great tailgate over there at Lincoln Financial, and with that tailgate there, he's running some Wing Bowl events, and Dwayne was you know, lucky enough to be picked as like the first referee. And if you guys know anything about my boy Dwayne, if you guys know anything about my boy Black, he brings it anytime there's a microphone in his hand. When we're out at events, there's not one time that I have not been hang out with Dwayne in any type of social setting, whether it be just us with close friends or out at a larger event. This guy is magic, and I'm not just saying that to be the nice guy or anything like this. Dwayne is magic. There's something about him. There's something about his personality that when he's out there, people are just instantly drawn to him, and he's a natural born entertainer. This guy. I'm sure you hear it on here. The people who know him that are listening personally now, you can attest to this. There's something special about Dwayne. I am super proud. I am super happy that Dwayne was able to be part of this event, and I can't wait. I know I wasn't there personally, so I couldn't see it, but I can guarantee you that, you know, he brought that event up another level. So shout out to you, Dwayne. Listen, man, good things are on the horizon here for Dwayne, for the pod, for us, for Wing Bowl, and I'm so happy to be part of it. So shout out to our boy Dwayne, shout out to Cheerleaders, and shout out to Big Carm and his tailgate as well. So, you know, when we go out to the tailgates, we try to get everywhere. We try to see where things are at and try to get, you know, as much content as possible. And we'll definitely be visiting Big Carm more often and pushing some more content from there. So it's going to be awesome. So, you know, again, shout out to our boy Dwayne, shout out to Big Carm. I'm sure he killed that event. And listen, I'm going to put all of you motherfuckers on notice, okay? Listen. We understand that we're trying to bring back a Wing Bowl. We're trying to bring it from the ashes, right? The phoenix. If I find out one more time the amount of wings that are eaten by some of these eaters, I'm going to jump in this contest myself. And I'm going to tear everyone apart. Your boy Tan here. You can eat. My uncle was in Wing Bowl. The Wing Bowl. I got those genes, doggy. So I'm putting everybody on notice. If I go to an event and I look at the competition and you look sorry and you look like trash, I will tell you this. I will sit down right next to you and eat you from the table. Pause. I'll do it. Not impressed. This goes for you, Moose. This goes for everyone out there. Not impressed. Don't make me handle this situation. All right. Let's talk about the Eagles here. We had a big win. They had a commanding performance. I knew that this was going to happen. I think I guessed maybe, 30-17 last week. Wasn't too far off. 38-20 is not too bad. It's not too shabby. Right off the get-go, you give my boy Saquon Barkley the ball. And I will tell you this, it's going to happen like this. You have to give him the ball. Run Saquon. We've said this over and over again. And what happens when you run Saquon? 65 yards right off the bat to the house. 65 yards to the house. He's going to score. You just got to let them do it. Things are going to start falling in place now. I feel like they're coming up. I mean, we have a bye this week, so I feel like the momentum might be stalled just a little bit, but I think the Eagles are going to come up on a tear right now. Is it going to be good enough to win a Super Bowl? I couldn't tell you. I don't think so. But it's good things that I see here. I'm happy with it. Granted, you're playing now 2-5. What is it? 2-5, 2-6. Now 2-6 Giants. Okay, they're trash. Yeah, you got some young guys that are coming up in the mix. You got, your Dart, your Jackson Dart. You got your Scatterboo. And there's no denying it. These are electric players. These are great players. They're up and comers. Now, every first season with a rookie quarterback who starts to show out, they continue to show out for the season. But what happens is the NFL's got your tape. The following year, it's not going to be the same thing. His second year is not going to be great. And that's okay. I think he's the real deal. I think he's a good quarterback. I see him making good decisions. I see the accuracy in his passes. I see it happening the right way for that team, and they're on up and coming. Scatterboo as well. Now I got to tell you, one of the most we've seen bad injuries. Poor guy. And he's Philadelphia made, in my opinion. I think he'd fit in really well here. And I think most of the fan base, the Philadelphia Eagle fan base, also feels the same way. And the reason why I think they feel that same way is because how they reacted to the injury. There's been injuries that happened here in the past. I remember as a kid, some certain Dallas receivers, Michael Irving, I think even, hitting his head on the turf. Philadelphia Eagles fans clap it. They're excited for the injury. I could be wrong, but I think Victor Cruz also got hurt. Might have been at the link against the Eagles. And he cheered that injury on as well. And I kind of liked Victor Cruz. He's another Giant. Come to think about it. But how they reacted to this specific injury made me a little bit proud. I'm not going to lie. It made me feel good a little bit. I think that they recognize how real, how crazy Scatterboo is. And when they realize that, when Philadelphia recognizes real, when they see real, when they feel that genuine energy, that craziness, we love it. We applaud it because it's a little part of us the same way. So I was proud. Eagles standing ovation. The way it was treated, I saw that Big Dom visited, that Bond apologized to his mother. There's a bunch of different things and a bunch of different situations that happened after with that specific injury that made me realize that we're not the heartless Santa Claus battery hitting Santa Claus snowball Santa Claus whatever city all the time. We do have a heart, but we have a heart for the people that deserve it. For the guys that put out that energy. We have heart for the people that aren't afraid to put things on the line and show a little bit of grit and attitude and be genuine about it. So that's why I think that happened there. And again, I hope that he recovers soon. I can't hate on it. I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't think he was a great runner. He had that Pacheco style, and it's like, having conversations with people about this game and about Scatterboo in the past, we're like, listen, it's just not going to last. You can't run like that. You can't run with the ferocity that he has, the borderline illegal ways that he's kind of leaning into hits and things like that. Illegal according to NFL rules. If this was 20 years ago, it wouldn't really matter. But these are the types of things that are happening that made me feel like, hey, you're not going to last this season. You'll find out soon you're not going to last this season. And unfortunately, he's not. He's going to be out this season. He's season-ending injury. There's no way he's coming back this year. I do hope that he comes back next year strong, though. Sometimes it is injuries. It's a little bit less sometimes about the actual physical injury. And I mean, you guys know this. It's a little bit less about that physical injury and more about the mental part of the injury because of how it happened. I'm sure he's, on social. I mean, he's bored right now, right? He's got a dislocated ankle. He's trying to fix that, nurse that injury there. He's going to be on social media. I guarantee you, he scrolled through and saw his own injury. These are the types of things, these little, one-offs that might damage the mental a little bit more as well. Yeah, listen, it's my hope that he comes back strong. Like I said, he's a good hard-nosed runner. We love runners like that. We'd love to have him in Philadelphia. Not that Saquon ain't doing his thing, because again, I think that's going to open up as well. But it's how it crumbles sometimes. And not to mention, how about runners, right? We mentioned Saquon. We mentioned Scadaboo. How about Tank Bigsby? 104 yards. I mean, both. Mr. Green actually called this last week too. If you recall, he said, Saquon Barkley's going to have 2 touchdowns and 150 yards. I thought, that's insane. He had that before the first half almost, And then you got Tank Bigsby also putting up 100 yards. I mean, we had 2 running backs that had over 100 yards rushing in the last game. And again, I understand we're playing the Giants. We're playing this. They may have a big attitude and a little bit of grit to them, but it's they're terrible this year. They've won 2 games all season. I think we put a lot of pressure on Jackson Dart. Putting that pressure on, learning from the last time we played them, which was fairly recently. Statistically, it's hard to beat a team twice, especially that close together. So I just knew that they would have good momentum. But as always, they kind of pushed in that back end too. So Eagles are 6-2. The Giants are the exact opposite, 2-6. And they dominated. They really did dominate. Saquon Barkley rushed for 150 yards. That first run was 65 yards. Like I said, Tank Bigsby had 104 yards. We got Jalen Hurts completing 15 of 20 passes for 179 yards, and he had 4 touchdown passes at that, 2 of which were to Dallas Goedert, who we talk about sometimes. He just, I feel like he doesn't have the yards after the catch, right? The special thing about Zach Ertz, a special thing about Brent Selleck, and those tight ends were, not only were they not afraid to block, but they were getting yards after the catch. So I don't think Dallas Goedert does that all the time. I bet you if you look in statistics, I'm probably wrong, but it feels to me like he doesn't get that yak. The Eagles had a season high 427 yards. Come on. They had a tremendous game, again, against a subpar team. I get it, but they had a tremendous game. This is also their 13th consecutive home win over the Giants. The Eagles got to the quarterback 5 times. There's just a lot that was going on. There's a lot of key plays that ended up working out for the Eagles. And even the Eagles, I mean, we have some hurt players. Our offensive line is inconsistent. I think that has to do a lot with Saquon not having the magical year that he had last year, which is really once in a lifetime. But, we'd expect a little bit more from him this year, but I think it really has to do with the inconsistency on the offensive line. You got a bunch of people on the front line. You got a bunch of people on the offensive line there that are kind of revolving door positions at this point. And I think that that lack of consistency is really killing them. And then, that's how it is. It's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. You can't always help it. And, I think the last game this season that they played the Giants, I think the Eagles only had like 73 yards rushing in total. And just between Tank Bigsby and Saquon Barkley, you had over 260. So it was an insane game. All right, well, now we talked about these Eagles. Let's get into Mr. Green. He had a really good week, and like I said, he completely nailed it right on the head, that 150 yard plus game with 2 touchdowns. I don't know how he did it. Maybe it was luck, maybe it wasn't, but I think he saw what we kind of saw in that statistically you're not going to beat that team twice. Playing a team twice and beating them twice in a row is really tough. So who knows? Who knows? Let's get into it. Let's hear Mr. Green here. Let's see what he has to say.
Draft day, heat, turn the speakers up.
Mr. Green here once again. I had another winning week. I went 3-2 last week. The only two losses I had, one was the Atlanta Falcons, but I didn't know they were going with a backup quarterback, Cousins. Yeah, I know Kirk Cousins. He's still around. Why? I have no clue.
This guy Herb has consistently, when Cousins was the quarterback for the Vikings, talk about how good he was. So I don't want to hear Mr. Green talking about all of a sudden you don't what? All of a sudden you don't like him. Carson Wentz got hurt. You didn't like him before. I think that's what plagues the Vikings, right? Is that lack of consistency at the quarterback position.
Clue, but he was the quarterback. I'm kind of hoping when you guys heard the news, you stayed off the game like I did. But anyway, that was one of my losses. The other one was the Joe Flacco with the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe was cruising along. They had a 17-point lead against the Jets. And then all of a sudden, he got a phone call. Not Joe, but on the bench. The front office did. They called down on the bench. Apparently, it was a guy that passed away. He was a Jets player. And the NFL kind of like said, hey, do us a favor, out of respect, let the Jets win this game. That was like the first game of the season they ever won. Probably going to be their last game, too. But the Bengals had to lose that game, or I would have won that game, too. But anyway, 3-2, a winning week. Let's get into this week. First game up, I'm looking at the Detroit Lions. They're coming off a bye week. Them guys are really good. They're playing home. They're playing Minnesota. Minnesota don't even have a quarterback this week. I think rumor has it J.J. McCarthy will be coming back. J.J. hasn't played for the last 5 weeks. So how's he really going to come back and play? Minnesota has no offensive line, no protection whatsoever. Detroit, with their defense they have, they're going to be pressuring whoever's quarterbacking for Minnesota. Detroit has 2 great running backs, a good quarterback, and great receivers. They don't lose many games playing in Detroit. The line's 10. Vegas is not stupid. It's a reason why they got this number at 10. They know they're going to crush Minnesota. So just back Detroit. Next game is going to be the Carolina Green Bay Packers game.
I agree. The Lions are coming off a bye. That's an insane pull for them. They're going to end up spanking the Vikings, like you said. Listen to Herb. Herb's a Vikings fan. He loves the Vikings. He's being very realistic. He don't mess around when it comes to his money.
Game. I don't know if you guys seen Green Bay go to Pittsburgh last week. I did. They had that guy Love going against Pop Rogers. Pop used to play for Green Bay. Wanted to still stay in Green Bay, but Green Bay said, you know what? You're too old. You're washed up. We got to let you go. They let him go, and they got this guy Love. Well, you know what? They probably made the right choice. Love had almost 400 yards passing against his old quarterback, guy that he has to sit behind. I guess Rodgers told him, how to play, and I guess he was a good teacher, because he definitely isn't a good football player. But anyway, Pittsburgh, playing home last week, ended up losing that game against Green Bay by double digits. Green Bay's a really good team. They're playing Carolina this week. Come on, man. Carolina, you want to win some money, take Green Bay. Another line that's high. But like I said, Vegas knows what they're talking about. It's a reason why that line is high. Don't hesitate. Just back Green Bay. Next game up is the Atlanta Falcons against New England. New England's playing home. I don't know if you know this or not, but New England's like 6-2. Bill Belichick is not the coach anymore. Bill Belichick, that was the problem. When they was back in the day, when Bill Belichick was with Tom Brady, all they did was win, win, win. Good combination, great teams. They won a lot of Super Bowls. Problem is, Brady ended up leaving. Belichick stayed with the team. Problem is, he fell in love with this girl, 15-year-old girl. Maybe she's older than 15. But anyway, Belichick.
Not maybe, absolutely. Just in case, we get lawyers after us here. That was never a thing. She is definitely over the age of 15. Weird.
Belichick's old, and this girl's young. And this girl was just got into his head, man, playing head games with the guy. Bill Belichick at one time was a really good coach, but since this girl came around, he can't think about football right now. All he cares about is having sex with this girl 4 or 5 times a day. I can't believe Bill could do it.
How do you know, Mr. Green? How do you know about this bedroom etiquette? Are you watching? I feel like you're watching.
Could do it, but I was told he could do it. Believe me, he could do it. But anyway, he went to North Carolina. And you know what? He's screwing around with that program too. I'm not even sure if North Carolina has a win this year. They might have 1, 2 tops. So he's not even doing good in North Carolina. And yes, he's still with this girl. I think the girl's over 21 by now, I think. So I think she's allowed to drink at a bar. But anyway, why are we talking about Belichick? We're talking about New England. They're playing Atlanta. Like I said, I believe Cousins is still going to be quarterbacking for Atlanta. It's no way Atlanta's going to have a chance against New England. Take New England. Next game up is going to be the Colts against the Steelers. That's right. The Steelers once again will pop. At least Pop stayed at home again, but that doesn't make no difference at all. Colts are a much better team than Green Bay. Green Bay went to Pittsburgh last week, and they actually beat that team by double digits. Like I said, the Colts are a much better team than Green Bay. They have Jonathan Taylor. That's right, Jonathan Taylor, the South Jersey boy, went to Salem High School. Then he ended up going to Wisconsin. Now he's playing for the Colts. That guy's unbelievable this year. He's probably going to get MVP if he stays healthy. And that team is a really good team. If I'm not mistaken, I think they got the Giants quarterback. I can't think of the guy's name, but he was nobody for the Giants. And then he went to Minnesota.
Daniel Jones. Yep.
As a backup, David Johnson or whatever his name is. I don't know. It'll come to me. Doesn't matter. But the Colts are a good team. They're going to have no troubles whatsoever beating the Steelers. So back to Colts. Next game, I'm looking at the Kansas City Buffalo Bills game. I told you before, Buffalo thought they were going to be going to the Super Bowl this year. They probably will be going to the Super Bowl. They love playing in Buffalo. And you know what? If they're going to go to the Super Bowl, they would love to stay in Buffalo during playoff games. They're playing Kansas City.
It's kind of a no-brainer thing. Most teams enjoy playing in their home field because it's called home field advantage for a reason. So, yeah, of course they love playing in Buffalo, just like the Eagles love playing in Philadelphia, and any other team loves playing in their home city.
Kansas City just played Monday night against the Redskins. They had no problems beating the Redskins. Kelsey had a lot of sex with Taylor that day. It was tight end day, too, by the way. And Kelsey had a really good game on Monday night.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely tight end day. Oh, yeah. Some of that sexual healing.
Problem is, though, he was home in his house with Taylor, went to the game at night, and they destroyed the Redskins. This week, they got to go to Buffalo. Kansas City has no chance whatsoever of beating Buffalo. So just back Buffalo. And guess what, guys? It's Halloween. I know you guys spent a lot of money on that. It's Halloween candy. And I know you probably had a lot of Halloween parties. You put a lot of extra money out this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be nice to you. I'm going to give you a bonus game that you can make more money this week. All right? It's going to be a Monday night game. I'm looking at the Cardinals-Cowboys. Cowboys just got their ass kicked against the Denver Broncos. Well, guess what, guys? When they jumped on that plane coming home, it was not a good plane ride.
I'll tell you this right now. We called Dak Prescott having a bad game. We called it. He was the bum pick last week. he was the bum pick last week.
Not at all. They actually came home, and Sunday night, they couldn't even leave the building when they went back to the fields. They had a closed-door meeting, and it was not a good meeting, I was told. It was a lot of yelling, a lot of pointing, and you know what? A lot of good is going to come from this meeting. Prescott and Lamb and Pickens and the defense, they're going to turn things around Monday night. They're playing the Cardinals. The Cowboys are going to win this game probably 52-17. I'm telling you, the Cowboys, they're going to crush the Cardinals. Just take my word for this. All right? I know you guys are probably Eagles fans, but don't matter. If you want to make money, you take the Cowboys Monday night. I'm going 6-0 this week. Nick, Dwayne, hopefully you're going to be on my...
Wait, hold on. Any team that plays the Cardinals, the 2-5, I believe they had a bye last week, the 2-5 Cardinals, any team that plays the Cardinals is going to blow them out. I just got done saying it about the Giants. Yes, the Eagles had a good win. It was put together, but listen, they're still playing the Giants. So I hope the Cowboys off the loss plays well against the Cardinals. Actually, I don't hope that. I hope Mr. Green's wrong.
Back and follow me, and let's win some money together. So let's recap. I'm taking the Lions, the Green Bay Packers, New England Patriots, the Colts, the Buffalo Bills, and the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go, guys. 6-0.
He might do it this week. He might 6-0 it this week. He might. I think he does. He's due for it. So I feel like, this week is the week. And you got that bonus game. Bonus. He must be feeling very, very generous. Well, listen, we appreciate this, and listen, take it with a grain of salt. I don't want to be blamed for you losing money. I'm not telling you to spend the money. Just giving you the framework, the guts of what's out there. Mr. Green's been doing it a long, long time. I'll tell you that. He knows his stuff. He had a good season. He had a whole good season last year. He's not doing too bad this year either. 2 weeks ago, I think he only lost one game. So let's talk about some of our up-and-coming picks, our sleeper pick, and our bum pick. I'm probably going to motor through this pretty quickly. But up-and-coming pick, and the reason is because of Scatterboo getting hurt, I believe. They're going to be, the Giants themselves are going to be basing it. They're going to be throwing the ball more. They're going to have to. They don't have as many weapons. So I think the up-and-coming pick for this week is Wan'Dale Robinson. He's probably, I think this week he has a breakout week. He's got a favorable matchup where a lot of the slot receivers for the Giants are going to be able to get open. He also runs a high percentage of his routes from the slot area, so it's going to be perfect for him. And he's really under-owned in leagues. And I think he has a stronger upside than he does a downside. So I think he's a really good value. I think maybe a little bit risky is that the volume, it may not be so consistent. But again, the matchup really does matter. And, you saw it last week with Scatterboo getting the ball in some receptions in that area, a touchdown even. That's not going to be happening this week. So he might get a little bit more on that volume. So Wan'Dale Robinson, New York Giants wide receiver, up and coming. Boom. I think for this week's sleeper pick, not really sleeper pick, quietly going to be on the radar, Kareem Hunt. running back Kansas City Chiefs. Reason being, Pacheco got hurt. He's dealing with an MCL injury. So Hunt is going to be, an increased usage and probably a good stand-in for Isaiah Pacheco. Pacheco is the primary back. So, and he also just has, a favorable matchup. He's facing a defense that's allowed multiple backs to hit double-digit fantasy points this season. So, but the downside is, which could change this week because of the situation, the depth chart situation, is that he's just not really full-time in the offense yet. And even in this game, they may end up splitting that workload in terms of carries, but I don't know. We'll see. I think the way they play this game, the way they deal with it is going to absolutely determine that. So, but I do think that he's a sleeper pick for this week. And for this week's bum pick, we're going with T. Higgins, the Bengals wide receiver. And here's why. I think if you look online, you do the research, a lot of their model projections think that Higgins is going to end up fading this week. He's averaging career lows in yards per game and in receptions per game. So it's making his production is just really overly reliant in terms of grabbing points on touchdowns. If he's not scoring touchdowns, he's probably not scoring a lot of points for you either. And I think that's not going to change this week with this matchup. And he's facing a defense that allows a few receptions, a few yards. So I don't think there's not a large margin for error. There's little margin for error. And, I think that's how it's going to fall. But if he does get that big play, which I don't think he's going to, if he does get that big play, if he does end up breaking out, then he's going to be scoring those points. But I think with the defensive matchup this week, I think that he's going to have fewer receptions and probably 3 yards, even more than he has for this season. So this week's bum pick for me would be T. Higgins. What a name. Imagine going through life, T. Higgins, being a pro in one of the most athletic leagues in the world, and your name's T. Higgins. That's really some crazy work. Really some crazy work. So, kind of here in closing, again, shout out to Big Carm, shout out to Dwayne for refereeing an official Wing Bowl event, not just, Wing Bowl event. Eagles are on a bye this week, so we'll see what happens. I feel like, they might come strong out of the bye in the following week, so we'll probably talk about that this week coming up. Miss you today, Dwayne. Miss you today, buddy. But we do what we got to do. We move on. He will be live tomorrow, and you can interact with him there on TikTok. TikTok's like our favorite platform. We get a lot of engagement there, and it's a lot of fun. I feel like it's just a lot of fun. It's more Wild West-ish, so it ends up working out. But listen, I really appreciate you guys tuning this week. Your continued support of the show, of the pod, and you guys really make it for us. And we appreciate all the love that you guys give us. And, make sure you guys are subscribing. Make sure you guys are getting out there. And if you see us out at these events, please don't be afraid to come up. We've had people doing it in the past and come up and say hi to us and things like that. So, and we love that. We love interacting with everyone in real life as well. So, again, I appreciate that. Thanks for everything. And I think what I'm going to do is close her on down. Just a quick episode, guys. We really appreciate you. We really love you. Make sure you have a great night. Stay on top of those bets.
Draft day heat, turn the speakers up. All eyes locked on a commissioner's cup. 25 years, yeah, the legends don't stop. Fantasy dreams on the way to the top. Black and 10 Sports, we running it up. 2025 Commissioner's Cup. Years, yeah, the legends don't stop. Fantasy dreams on the way to the top.